So generally I make these videos about anime or manga and why you need to read it or watch it, right? But this time I'm here to talk to you guys about a web comic called Solo Leveling, which you might have heard of before, because it's kind of been on the rise a little bit recently, but you might not because, if you have an iPhone, you have to get specific apps to read it because it doesn't appear on Webtoon, right? But today, instead of here to talk to you guys about how you need to read a manga, I'm here to talk to you guys about why you need to read this. Okay, we're not gonna waste any time on the fact that I finally put the intro in. All you need to understand is Sung Jin Woo, the main character of Solo Leveling. He one time seems like a bump at the beginning of the show, right? And you don't want to see him anymore. You wish he was a side character. But then he enters a way too high level dungeon and he can't even fight as is. But then he gets SAO'd, right? And essentially he just gets put into a video game. But the video game isn't a video game. It's real life. And it's not even like how Kirito was saying, this game is real life. No, he's in real life, solo leveling this video game. Point of the title. Exactly, right? And what happens is, in this dungeon, he just gets to be a part of this video game that he doesn't even know the name of. And then he goes to the hospital because his leg went boom, right? And then out of nowhere, the game's like, you're too weak. You're gonna have to level up. So he does, by doing the One Punch Man routine for a couple of months. And then when he comes back after that small time skip, this is him. I know, he's built different now. He went from this to this. And this is where the show or the manga finally gets good, bro. Right? From this moment on, Sung Jin Woo's like, I can keep going. I can keep leveling up and getting stronger. And he does exactly that by just building up his tactics, building up his strength and techniques. He just becomes going from the E rank hunter that he originally was, which I'll let you guys figure out what an E rank hunter is once you actually go and read this after this video. From an E rank hunter, he immediately slowly just climbs the rank till he's like a B, A, S, and he just won't stop there because there's even more ranks above that, right? So here's what's happening. He's just out here going through dungeon to dungeon, leveling up. But then he realizes, or he doesn't even realize, it's shown to you, hunters aren't supposed to get any stronger than they are when they first get awakened, right? Because you're not born a hunter, you're awakened. And when you're awakened, that is your set limit, right? There's no Dragon Ball Z, I'm going to push beyond that. You have your limit. If you go beyond that, there is something wrong with you and you must be tested. Now, there is something called reawakening, right? Where technically you can go from like an E rank to an S rank, but it can only be a one-time jump, right? But he realizes, or it's shown, that he's going to keep leveling up, but he's not built to be able to do that. But he is built to be able to do that. Everybody else just isn't. And nobody really realizes that he's leveling up because he doesn't get his reawakening test until after he's reached like S rank status. But then, some other lion beast dude is like, my guy a little stronger than the last time I seen him when he became an S rank. And they realize he might be improving. But that's not even the most important part. Because before in the manga, or in the webcomic, before he even became an S rank, he went from just a regular battle brawler to a necromancer. This dude now brings back the dead souls of those he kills. And he be fighting dudes, right? You don't just be fighting some chunk goblins level 1. This dude is fighting these things. And these things. And then this dude died. Like, bro, I'm trying to keep it to a minimum so that this whole thing isn't spoiled for you. But it's really hard to like explicate to you how good this show is, or this manga is. When you're reading this, you feel like you're watching a show, right? Like, you're looking at it and you see the frames and you see the art, because unlike manga, they're not lazy, right? In the way that it is, I guess you could call it, since it's styled the way it is, every single panel is colored, right? So you never have to guess if a character is black or not. Spoiler alert, almost none of them are, right? But you never have to guess that. They're not going to hide that from you. You don't have to guess if somebody has a specific color hair just because it's slightly shaded gray. You see the hair color, okay? It's beautiful. The art is beautiful, right? And then you have the main character going off. Don't worry about the side characters because they continue to rotate. And then the dude that you thought was gone, because it rotated to a new cat, comes back again. And everybody has beef with Sung Jin-woo because he be out here doing his thing, and they don't like that he's out here doing his thing better than their homies are doing the thing, right? And this is just what makes it so good, because unlike other manga and whatnot out there, don't get me wrong, I've said in previous videos, I like when shows are based around an end goal premise because it helps them, it helps the readers get attached to the characters and see what they're doing to get towards that goal. But the way that they built this was totally different. Like, you have SAO, where even, first things first, SAO should have ended after like the first part of it, because that would have made it half decent, or really good actually. But they decided to keep it going, and then they added in some weird stuff, and then the show just became bad, right? Had they cut it off then. But they had an end goal in that first part, right? They needed to beat the game. There is no end to this game for Sung Jin-woo. But the way that they make it, it's like, even though the end goal keeps changing, it's like you're watching somebody live their life. A lot of times when mangas and animes decide to make it so that there's no real end goal, it's because they don't really they have all these different ideas for the story, and then they just want to put them in one after the next. However, the way that they made Solo Leveling is like, it's not like it's one goal after the next. He's just living his life, right? And then Sung Jin-woo just out here becoming more and more powerful by the day. He's up against dudes like this, beasts that are just monstrous, and he just, murks them, destroys them, they're gone, and then he just brings them back to life as his shadow soldiers, right? And this is why this show gets less hype than it should. And the reason why I'm suggesting that you read it right now is because it's 110 chapters. And some of the chapters are short, others of them are kind of long, right? But it's not gonna keep getting longer like One Piece is. One Piece has more, 900 plus chapters, and it's still going on a schedule. Right now, there's a break. So you could take these next couple weeks, because I don't think the next chapter will be releasing for a little bit. Have these next couple weeks to catch up on the show, right? Or to catch up on the webcomic. And if you read this, listen to some hype anime music while you do it, because it just improves the experience by that much. But I'm not gonna hold y'all here for that much longer, okay? Just understand that the way that they decided to build this show made it so that even though there's no end goal, you want to see what happens next. All right, that's all I got to say. Cut the cameras.